Today I'm strangely captivated by the Guerlain KissKiss Bee Glow Oil, and of course we have the NATASHA DENONA Hyper Natural Face Palette. Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have a look at two new products, both of which I'm excited about. One of which I have yet to try, and I'm going to try with you guys. The first is we're looking at, this is the ones I've been playing with, the Guerlain KissKiss Bee Glow Oil. Got a few shades of that for us to look at. And then what I haven't tried yet, but we'll try together, the brand new NATASHA DENONA Hyper Natural Face Palette. Lots to do today. So happy to have you here. Don't forget that you can also see my content over on Instagram, TikTok, and on Threads. But we have enough to do here today. We've got a lot to try on and swatch and talk about. If you are in a rush, don't forget that you can also make use of the timestamps that are listed down below in the description bar, but also along this video if you slide along. You can see them there. Okay, so let's talk about the NATASHA DENONA first. That's going to take us a while. We have swatches and all that. Okay, the NATASHA DENONA Hyper Natural Face Palette is, of course, her newest face palette following the success of the Glam face palettes. Those came in both light and deep. This just has one. It is $62. And why am I late with this review? It's not late at all, but I'm usually earlier than this. I pre-ordered from NATASHA and it has been lost in transit. It was due here 4 days ago and it has been lost. So I just went to Sephora today and bought it. You win some, you lose some, because I'm excited to talk about this. The reason it's called Hyper Natural is it's supposed to be a face palette for a no makeup, or so NATASHA DENONA tells us. Now we have no flap here. I like to call it the Ta flap after Patrick Ta, although I don't know, maybe NATASHA did it first, but I like to call it. There's no flap here because though the shades are creamy, they are not actually cream. And that little plastic flap is what separates that. So that's what we have here. But what we do have is a new formula. So let's talk about that here. We have 5 hybrid eyeshadows, and they're named after moods and occasions. So we'll put that on the screen when we use them. Moods and occasions. What is new about this formula is it is talc-free. Now, before this palette really hit the stores and before most of us had seen it, there were all sorts of rumors going around that she was now doing clean beauty. Not so much rumors. I think rumors that NATASHA DENONA herself kind of started by, I guess, and I did not see it. So this is absolutely secondhand on my part. But I heard that she actually said it was clean beauty. Quickly on an Instagram live or something, and people heard that and went, what? I don't know. Again, I cannot confirm this. I've heard tale of tale of tale. Okay, so this is third hand at this point, fourth hand even. But we do know now that it is a different formula and it is talc-free, which is really interesting. They say that it will be creamy, though. They're powder. We have a blush duo. We have this bronzer contour trio, which is surprisingly light. I wonder what people are going to say about that. I was like, is this going to be dark enough for me? And I'm a light medium. So I'm not trying to cause controversy, and I haven't seen any other reviews, but I'm thinking, okay. But anyway, and we have these 5 and these 2 blush shades. The 2 blush shades are similar to others we've seen by her, but totally different formula. And we're going to compare those 2 formulas as well. This is an interesting thing to keep in mind, okay? These are made to be worn either solo shadows for a monochromatic look or, of course, combined. And this is supposed to contribute to a moisturized face. And I haven't read the details on that, but it kind of feels like it's, like they're doing the skincare hybrid thing. To be honest with you, those kind of skincare hybrid things are rolling off my back at this point because tell me if you're not doing that as a brand right now. It's ubiquitous, so it doesn't quite interest me as much anymore, I admit. Now, the reason the monochromatic eye look thing, this is something I've been saying for some time now. On TikTok, quick videos do really, really well. This is why we've seen lip oils do so well. Speaking, we have a lip oil coming up here. But this is why we see lip oils and such do really, really well. And I have been talking about it. We have a members-only group for $4.99 a month. The information to join is down below along with super thanks and all that. And I have been telling them on that, the lip oils do well on there. You apply it quickly, there's a quick cut and music and it's over. So really intricate eyeshadow looks aren't trending as much with Gen Z. And if you're not Gen Z, you don't care, but the industry seems to. I don't know if they have the buying power of Millennial and Gen X, but they seem to be catered to a lot. And that is why, I'm just telling you from an editorial standpoint, remember my main job, that is why she is saying you can wear it one at a time. Because the complicated eye look's not as big anymore. Good for me, huh? Because you know that's not where my talent lies. But yes, so that is something to keep in mind. Let's look at the shade difference. I brought over the Glam Face palette. This is the lighter Glam Face palette. This is the one that had the little, I like to call it a Ta flap after Patrick Ta, but in this sense it's a Natasha flap. And it did so because these were cream products and she did not do a bronzer. Interestingly enough, no bronzer in this one that had light and deep, but a bronzer in that one that has only one. Okay, but let's take a look at the shadows here. So in this Glam Face palette, here's her traditional kind of powder. And then here's kind of a golden powder in her new talc-free formula. And let's go ahead and just swatch it side by side and see. You can't tell much of a difference. Here's the original. It looks like the original formula is a little bit shinier and smoother, but they're not the same shade. So it's a slightly unfair comparison. Let me turn around and look at it. And they're both lovely and very, very pretty, but it looks like the original NATASHA DENONA, and she does a few different shade formulations, but they're a little thicker, deeper. And it looks like these new ones might need a little bit of building, but remember, they're also purposefully subtle. So these comparisons really aren't apples to apples, but I just kind of wanted to show it to you guys a little bit. And we'll do two different eye looks and we'll play with these on the face. As you see, I got some mascara on, but I have actually, other than my foundation, I've got nothing on my face. So we're gonna play with this palette quite a bit in a moment here. But first I want to talk to you about this new products from Guerlain. These are the Guerlain KissKiss Bee Glow Oils. Now, Guerlain KissKiss is not new. They have, of course, some balms and such that you may have that are just absolutely lovely. And Guerlain says you can pair these, you can wear them with a liner, you can wear them over. Today, we're going to just try them onto bare lips. I have to be honest with you. I think that the amount of decades I have spent in this industry, that I am no longer suspect to the siren's song, the call of the new product. But this one got me. I don't know what it is. It's just like the kind of wavy gold top here, and the fact that they say they're honey tint lip oils, and I heard they smell like honey. I don't know, you guys, this got me. And the thing is, this is what, the 157th lip oil that we've had introduced on us this year. I always look for what is this going to be the year of. I swear it's the year of the lip oil so far. Everybody's doing one. By the way, shameless plug, I will be doing a lip oil comparison of all these new lip oils that we've gotten because honestly, I am past counting on these now. But these really, really interested me. I like their original KissKiss balm as well. This is Corsican Honey. So here is, I got two shades, you guys. I wish I could get them all. They're $40 each, okay? So I just got two. It's enough already. I had to get those Westman Atelier lipsticks. Things add up, let me tell you. Okay, but I had to see these. So here is one of the shades. This is the Lavender Glow, and I am wearing it now. I'll take it off and put on. I also got, as you see, the Poppy Glow, and I will show you those. But here is, the Lavender Glow on my lip, and I love it. I love the way it looks. I love the way the way the doe foot sits. It's just so pretty. And I don't think I swatched them, so let's go ahead and swatch them together right now. I'm rubbing off those others. Here is, it's on my lip already. Does it smell like honey? A lot of you asked me. A little bit. It's not cloying or anything. I think you actually see a better lip swatched than on my hand, don't you? And then we have this beautiful, I'll change into this in a minute, Poppy Glow, this red. These shades are just so beautiful. Just put the way it comes out of it's just so pretty. Look at that one. These might be my favorite. These are plumping and they don't sting. For a lot of you, that stinging feeling, really, you don't like it. I don't generally like it either. These also promise not to be sticky. They have supposedly, if you can look at those on my hand there, they have supposedly 3 layers. Apparently the bottom layer, if you can believe this, is a balm layer to protect your lips. The middle layer is the pigment. And they are okay in terms of pigment, aren't they? And the top is their high shine layer. This is what Guerlain says. Who am I to contradict Guerlain? Clearly no one, right? And you can layer them with the, I just like it. Kiss Kiss Bee Glow. There's something about this that just attracted me. They've got the little bee on it. I like the Kiss Kiss line. I just think these are really kind of extraordinarily luxurious. And they very, very much attracted me, which lately is kind of a hard thing to lure me in because I see so much of this stuff. I don't know. You can tell me down below if you were mesmerized by these as well. I would love to know, actually. Okay, so what I want to do now is look at some swatches. So let's look at our NATASHA DENONA swatches in 2 different lights. First of all, here is the palette laid out the very same way you'd see it in the palette on my arm. First in studio lighting, we have all 3 shades across the top of this light, very light bronzer contour trio, and then both shades of the blush, and then on the bottom, across the bottom, there's all 5 shades of this eyeshadow, this creamy powder eyeshadow that can be worn monochromatic or combined. And I mean, it's, you know, they're really, really pretty, but is it anything to write home about? That has yet to be determined. Again, no makeup, monochromatic eye. They're trying to get maybe the Gen Z crowd a little bit. I don't know if I can blame them. They're running a business. It's not a charity, you know, I suppose. I just don't know how my audience feels about that. Young, if you're Gen Z, or if you're millennial or Gen X or boomer or whatever, you know. We have everybody here. You should see my ages on my analytics. We have everybody on this channel. And everyone's welcome. So I'd love to hear you identify what your generation is, and then tell me what you think. And do you wear a lot of eyeshadow? That would really be an interesting poll. In fact, I mean, let's do that if we can. Tell me down below, if you don't mind, what your generation is and how you feel about complicated eyeshadow looks. I'd be really, really curious to hear. Okay, but first, let's take these outside into the warm California sunshine. Take a look at these here outside. Oh, there's no sunshine. It's a little bit rainy today, but the sun is still out there, and I still think that you can see these pretty well in natural lighting. What do you think? I don't think I was blown away. I think the formula is really nice and creamy. Am I blown away by the shades? I'm just not sure yet. I'm going to go take off. This is that kind of lavender glow, and I want to put on the poppy glow. I'm really curious to see this shade. And then I want to play around and do a few different looks. So let's go to that right now. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do. I need your help to get over 20,000 and then world domination. But I need your help to get to 20K first. So I'd love your help. All right, let's go to the demo. Okay, I took off the lavender shade. Let's put on this red poppy shade. I'm just kind of curious. I'm kind of like insanely obsessed with these Guerlain lip. I don't know, I like them. Let's see. And then I took it off. It kind of left a little bit of a stain, you know, because they said they have that middle layer is it is a little bit of a honey smell, you guys. I won't lie, but I kind of find it soothing. And it is an oil. It doesn't feel sticky. Would my hair get caught in it in a breeze? Probably, but I don't think I'd mind. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this palette. What do you think of the poppy shade? It's not as red as you would think, is it? We have 2. I got a bunch of Refer brushes here and a Sonia G brush. Let's go ahead and look at this bronze and contour first. Now, when we bronze, we like to warm up the face, and when we contour, we're using the cooler shades to create a shadow. Famously, I do not contour. A, lack of interest. B, lack of talent. Remember, I'm a writer. I'm a beauty journalist. I'm not a makeup artist. So, you know, it's a combination of the two. I don't mind admitting it. No ego here. Okay, so I am going to just warm up my face, and frankly, this is a Sonia G brush. I'm just going to go into all 3. You know, you've seen them swatched. I'm just going to kind of warm up the sides of my face and see if it works. what if you have a deep complexion? If you have sometimes deep and fair are the two complexions that I find have the most trouble, but I think fair would be okay with this. Those of you that have a deeper complexion, let me know down below. Could you use this? I mean, it's certainly warmed up my face. I'm a light, medium, neutral, though. I mean, you know, just kind of lucky in that sense, right? Okay, but that's pretty. Now, let's just make a big old mess here. We got 2 Rephr blush brushes. This is an 18. Let's just put it in here. I can mix these. But, you know, the brush does fit in there. And though some of you might say that if your brush slips, you're going to get both shades, I feel like, let me just put this on here, I kind of feel like these are meant to mix a little bit. And so I feel like putting them touching each other like this, same thing with the contour and bronzer. I feel like, yes, you can go ahead and target, that's that lighter pink shade. You can go ahead and target the specific shade you want, but I feel that by kind of blending them into one, that's NATASHA DENONA saying, hey, you're gonna get a little bit of both. That is definitely pale, isn't it? That would be for my fair-skinned viewers. But I think it'll be really pretty mixed with the darker. Let me switch brushes so as not to contaminate. This is a Rephr number 19, and I'll go into this much deeper shade, which will be Shock of Shocks deeper. Okay, let's get a little more of that. Wow, oh, now this is a really pretty shade on me. You know, remember, I can only, you know, right now put it on me, and I'm light medium. And I am overdoing it for you guys to take a look. That's really overdone. What if I go back in and put some of this light pink over it? And what if I go back in here and put some of this darker pink on this side? What if, you know, I'm just playing around, guys. I just want to see. I mean, to me, I think almost everyone is going to have to use a little bit of this darker shade. And I guess really what you can do is kind of make your, I'm making a mess now because I'm combining them, but you can kind of, you know, create your perfect look. A dot of this, a dot of that, depending on your skin tone. And I see that the blushes, now those would work on anyone. I'm just mixing them up here and having a good time. And I think these blushes are going to work on any skin tone. You just kind of have to get your ratio down. I know I'm mismatched here, but you know, you got to figure out what works best. And I think what works best is just blending the two. But you know, do for you, of course, okay? But the bronzer, it worked on me, but I'm a light medium. Okay, let's take a look at these eyeshadow shades. I'll do a little bit more of a complicated look, but I do think she's going to have a lot of people that are going to be takers just for, you know, doing one monochromatic look. Let's just do 2 looks and play around a little bit. This is a Rephr number 16, and I'll put the name of the shades on the screen. Let's go into this really pretty cocoa shade and just kind of put it into the crease of my eye. Very smooth. Now, something I do have to say about the blushes, and this is kind of needs to be noted, the blush is really soft. Like my face feels really nice and smooth afterwards. So, gosh, she wasn't kidding when she said moisturizing, was she? And this is really pretty. Look at that. And in fact, I'm going to switch up to a Rephr number 2 mini. And I'm going to go into that same shade and just run it just gently underneath. That's pretty, isn't it? And what happens if I take this shade here and just kind of put it all the way over the top? That's pretty, and that is not a fussy eye look. In fact, I'm going to go back with that mini that we just had and put some of that into the inner corner. And that is just a very simple eye look. Super easy and super pretty. To look at this palette, I've heard, I stay away from reviews, and mine was delayed, as I told you, which is so frustrating. But I have heard there's kind of mixed reviews around about this. I'm so far quite happy. I did not the bronzer, and I'm sure everyone's saying that about the bronzer. I don't. It works for me, but that's a bit selfish as a reviewer. Here's the 1 Max. I like this eye look though. Here's the 1 Max. Let's do a little something here with this shade right here. Go in there into the crease. I just want to test out the shades a little bit. That's pretty. Taking the same 1 Max into this pinkish shade right here and just putting that little pink shade all over the eye. That kind of blends it in with the blush. Super nice shade reformulation. For me, it's very subtle. If you are someone who is used to a really dramatic eye look, I don't know if you'll like it. So think about that with yourself. And some of Natasha Denona's previous kind of creamy powder shadows are going to pack a little bit more punch. I like this though. Not because it's talc free. I don't have a talc issue. Not laughing at those who do. A lot of people do. I don't. But I think that's actually really nice. So now if we use these, let me go into, let me take this shade right here, all the way at the end here. This is a Refer number 12. Again, if you're playing along at home. And I'll put that underneath the eye. And what if I just darken the corner? I just want to try all of these shades. So we use 2 on one eye and 3 on another. Oh, I like that. And it is very on trend, whether you call it Gen Z led, TikTok led. The trend does appear to be not, I mean, do whatever you want. Makeup is self-expression. But you know, the greater trend, follow it or leave it, is to have a little bit slightly more subtle eye look. And these are very subtle. Super easy for someone like me also. And you know, yeah, it's that kind of light eye makeup, lip oil. But you can put this lip oil over a lipstick if you want, or over a liner. This lip oil is, oh boy. I mean, I'm gonna have to do a lot of research and comparison because I am, as I told you, getting a video together about all of these lip oils. So many of them, I can't even remember them all that have been released in the past few months. There's been just a slew of them, and I will tell you, I'll rank them and tell you my favorite, but I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't want to speak out of turn because I haven't done enough research or worn these enough, but they're pretty, and when you blot these away, you can still kind of see the shade underneath. Oh, so pretty. In terms of this palette, I think I've said it, boy, the shades feel lovely on the face. They do feel moisturizing. And I have normal skin. It's not unusually dry or anything like that. They feel really nice. The eyeshadows, I think, are beautiful alone. And when they build, I think they're subtle and very pretty. That's a thumbs up. I'm not sure how I feel about, as I've said, and I'm a broken record at this point, the contour and the bronzer seem a bit light, but I need our community to weigh in. If you have medium to deep tone skin, have you been able to do anything with it? And maybe I will be surprised. But for me, it works. And the blushes and the bronzer and contour, it feels like they're kind of meant to run together a little bit because they're seemingly purposefully not separated in the pan. So that's kind of interesting. But all good products. I'll travel with this Natasha Denona palette. I like it. Thumbs up for my skin tone anyway. But this is what makes us a community. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Please sound off below and tell me if you got these Guerlain, like these little KissKiss Bee Glow oils. They're so cute. And make me feel better. Tell me if you, I'll never lose the love that I have for makeup. I don't want to be jaded, even though I've seen every product under the sun come and go. I don't want to be jaded, and I'm not. I still get excited. And these excited me. So let me know, but this excites me as well. I think this is a thumbs up from me, depending on what our community says about that bronzer in there. And I'm so curious, but I'm here to answer any of your questions. I didn't do any shade comparisons. Why, Rebecca, why? Well, it's a new formula. Also, I do so many shade comparisons over on Instagram, and I'm happy to do that. Is this similar to some of Natasha Denona's other blushes? For sure. And some Gucci blushes? For sure. What do you need to see? Let me know. Happy to do that for you. And in terms of eyeshadow shades, oh, definitely we've seen this in Natasha Denona, but I can compare that. They look to be a little bit more subtle. Not just the lack of talc, but it looks like a reformulation in general. They're not as heavy feeling, they feel lighter. Could be the talc, could be just the reformulation. That also leaves out talc. So, lots of interesting things there to see. And I'm curious about what you guys think about that as well. Okay, make sure that you share and like, and of course, please subscribe to this video. Ask me any questions down below, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video.